you meow? What you meowing for? What's up? You okay? Let's see what. Oh, let's see what it's like. I didn't sun gauge. This one, we want to get that in this one. Because you see my feet and you think they're a toy, and every time you get stiff, running under my feet, you see they're looking back. Like, come on, boy, you see what it is. I know I ain't getting off that kind of energy. Maybe so. Trying to disrupt the sun's view with chemicals in the air so we can't sun. Damn, they too stupid. I still get ready to do it, but I just feel the stress. Chemicals in the air, like we don't know. Damn, they're stupid, bro. Damn, they're stupid, man. They're trying to mess with chemicals in the air so we can't sun gaze. They're scared. They are scared, bro. Yeah, they're scared. So, a friend of mine, Air Force, say something and then I'm gonna come back. A friend of mine in the Air Force, he's been sun gazing ever since I subscribed to him. Especially in the wintertime, that's why I meet out there. And me, his old lady, even his kids like to. We go out and we do the the cold water immersion during the wintertime in Hawaii. So him and his old lady was walking with the carriage, his newborn, about 6 months old. And he said, "Hey, Red." I was like, "Yeah, I was over here." So I went over to the wall. I was like, "What's up?" He says, "I'll be coming back around, man, like in 15 minutes." I said, "All right." So I knew what that meant. So I just came in. I went outside on the back. Well, there's nothing, you know. And he goes, "Hey, man, I was sun gazing, man. It was straining." And he says, "You know, I got somebody who's in the M1, and they're spraying things to disrupt the." And he says, "It's got to be for us sun gazers, you know." This is a Pelskin brother, man. He's from Louisiana, ex-Air Force. He says it's got to be because even after I got through gazing, I was like, wait a minute, I've been doing this for a long time now. This is, you know, I says, you know what? I was sun gazing and I'm pretty strong, y'all. And I got to the white dot for the clarity, the very yellow, exuberant, nova, like opaque dot. And I was fighting, holding it. Something I never have to do. I could stand there and look at it for 5-10 minutes, no watering eyes or nothing. Close, do my 35, do my cupping, cold water, literally walk myself in because I practice walking without seeing anything, whether it's from my truck, down to the dumpster. I literally pay attention. And I also sometimes click in my, you know, when my eyes go black, I'm waiting to see outlines, you know what I'm saying? I allow it so I can see at least the parameters when I'm feeling something that's like it looks a little bright and I know it's a vehicle. I can't see the young kid who died of cancer, passed away of cancer, who could actually see things. I'm not there. I can see the light. You know what I mean? Like I know I'm near something, and then I'll put my hand out. Oh, it's a truck, and I'll go over this way. And when my eyes clicking on my blinking, it becomes lighter. So I'm too close. You know, I jab my finger like, oh, it's a vehicle, and I just keep walking straight, knowing where the dumpster is. And then when I notice a concrete cinder block wall, I close my eyes tight just to get where that dark, you know, that space is. And then I realized, okay, that must be the wall. And I put my hand, I know people watching. And then I said, okay, and so I know 3, 4 steps. Dumpster should be right here, depending on where they pulled it out. Dumping it. And I put my hand like this so I don't jam my fingers. And when I feel it, I feel like a little energy from it, very, very low. It feels warm, like. And then I put my hand, I'm like, okay, and throw whatever I got to throw away. Yeah, you know, I'll be holding, oh, wait, cool, garbage bag, you know. And I wasn't going to do that today. After I gazed and I got the spot and I was struggling to hold it, I said, oh, they're causing some kind of disruptive. And so I have to be stronger. I have to, not stronger, but I have to be more adaptive. Allow my body to go through whatever it is to be more adaptive so that way I can continue to do what I'm doing. You dig what I'm saying? A cayenne pepper one. Keep the seeds and all. Best hangover medicine for those who get drunk. Coconut water, H3O, and watermelon, even with a little pineapple. And it's not bad for diabetics. If you want to heal. That much good. Cayenne, cinnamon's great too. Don't be messing with it if you got thin blood. I mean, if you got thin blood, like if you can't take aspirin, don't be messing with cinnamon. Okay? Trust me. At least not in heavy, large doses. But cayenne, same thing. It's a thinner. That is so good. So yeah. Or maybe they did it unknowingly. I mean, whatever they spray, because I think they were spraying again. From my understanding, you know how they feel. If it don't work, killing a whole lot of folk. Don't succeed. Try again. You know what I mean? So that is so good. Then I got my watermelon, lime, key lime. Yeah, this stir's gonna be pretty good. I put it back in my Nalgene, my ABA, ABF free. And get the seeds stirred up in there really good. That's refreshing. Oh, what's going on, beloved? Michael Hill, what's happening, beloved? What's cracking? Anybody else? You can speak. It's greetings. It's all love. Don't worry, I'm not gonna curse you out. I smelled some funny when I drove to the East Valley and then woke up this morning and now the smell is on my side near the Central. Yo, you smelled it too, huh? I still when my windows cracked. It got down to like 68, 70 degrees. It was nice and cool where I like it. And I closed my windows about 2 o'clock in the morning. Oh man, because you know watermelon's like a diuretic, so you're gonna go to the bathroom. You might not poop for a couple of days, but you're gonna go to the bathroom. You dig what I'm saying? Excuse me. But most men are unaware of the benefits of sun gazing. They know, but like I said, get you a handful of dirt. Sit at the roots of the tree, barefooted, and talk. Don't be all confused and conflicted, and talk. Literally talk. The frequency vibrations. The tree hears and feels the stress, and so do you at times when trees are cut down. You know, everything that's being done never had to be done. There was no chopping down the trees and all that crap. Till these loonies came, there was no fireplaces. None of that. That was too much for the enemy. Hence, megalithic war, flood. I mean a megalithic war. Floods. What do you think in Empire Strikes Back, they get the thing with the space and they fly in and they blow it up? Death Star don't literally mean always a laser coming from it. Among weapons, but you can see it's pockmarked. I know people are having a hard time with that, but I heard that somebody said some people are starting to think that. You know, when you think about those big, perfect sandstone round balls, you think those were just made to be looked at, to be so asymmetrical? No, those are weapons. If you have natural energy and you can levitate, and the women like the Khalifas and many other women can raise things, the Haitian women, the Frenchmen, the Negroes dying, I mean, you ain't gotta believe it, all right? It's part of the stories. Listen to the Doggons War. You think that happened over there? Go on, don't stop listening to see people talking about the Doggons, the Star People, and all that other dumb shit. Go on and listen to the stories. See, that's, you never hear nobody say it. That's why I just be quiet and I be watching them like, and some people are like, why don't you say something? Why should I? If they're such authentic, you know, naturalists in researching. Please. Even Tariq Nasheed getting called out by the Mongols of Pelicans, they call him an agent. Can't make this stuff up, man. They like on him, man, like he was an agent. He ain't even responding. I feel like if they want to call you something, respond. You don't have to get all up in your feelings and emotions if you're really solid with it. I found this page. I ain't subscribed, you know that. I was like, oh, he live. This is real. They really just Tariq that motherfucker. Okay. And they're ripping his ass. I was like, ooh, the trolls. He don't know nothing about that because he ain't put in that fight. You know, somehow people put in this fight for like 10 years. Well, 7 years and better. You know what I'm saying? Like 7 years and up to now. I mean, God, dog, he don't have a clue, man. He getting the brunt of it, you know. And if he really serious about it, and this ain't new, this ain't old to him. I mean, this ain't new to him, excuse me. In a form, but it's not old either. You know, he would know how to deal with it, but you know, it is what it is. Let a few more people come in. There's some people out there doing what they do. I waited a little while as I was sitting here. I was cutting up some watermelon, drying some clothes. I gotta fold them up. And I went outside to talk to my boy. You know, I was just standing there and he, you know, walking by, and so I met him about 12 minutes later. And he dropped that, and I was like, dude, I was out here, man, sun gazing. It was strange. I never have no issue like that. It takes a lot for me to even, not admit when something's wrong, but like, this is something that's natural for me. I mean, I still did it, but it was just, I could tell there was something attempting to block that. Was it a hard fight getting to the center of the light? It wasn't a hard fight. It was more like you open the door and something fell behind the door, but you can still open it. It's not to where you gotta exert a whole lot of force. You just gotta, you know, like, so it was like that, like broke through, and then I'm getting exactly what I need to see. You know what I'm saying? Per eye. And I'm feeding, but it's still, whatever that is up there causing disruption, it's there. And I'm focused, I'm tied in. It's almost as if I was looking for the light through trees, like leaves. But even that's not complicated. Whatever they're spraying made it, well, I felt it like, this is straining. And I always say, if you feel like you're about to go tunnel or blinders, like, stop. Close your eyes for about 3 or 4 minutes. Hopefully you're in a place you ain't got to worry about somebody tapping your pockets, you know, running them pockets, you know, taking you to the white meat, you know. Get those 3 minutes of eyes closed, breathing, oxygenating, and everything will be all right. But, yeah, man, it is what it is. They're not going to stop, though. I mean, something could stop him, but I'm like, Joe, I'm stubborn, y'all. Something could stop him. That's a whole nother, you know. And there we go, I think. See our little lizard brothers and sisters now. Eat them seeds. Don't be messing with seed oils. Grapeseed oil, terrible for you. You can use the oil, coconut oil, and olive oil from the natural source. Stay away from safe flowers. Stay away from vegetable oil. Oh my goodness. Canola, peanut oil. Stay away from those. Processed stuff? No. Things are toxic. Hard on your livers and stuff. All right? Trust me. That picture, thumbnail, if you could see it, if they're not playing fiddly day with it, that's me at a code talker's funeral. I actually was in uniform colors, white gloves and all that, white belt, you know, weapons belt and all that. You know, I took the neckerchief off the white and carried the flags, Navajo Nation and all that. Yeah, because I respect my brothers in arms, but also respect the people. And the elders knew. You know, I don't know if they told all the young ones. Like I said, I know some Navajos who know. They know at least. I don't mind accepting them, but you're not going to sit there and not accept me. And even though I'm going to talk the truth of history, I'm not being arduous and ugly and vilifying anybody. I'm saying what was done to you was wrong as much as to anybody else. Issue is, if you take children with no parents, and you negate to teach them the ways here, especially where a lot of our people took them children's in. Are y'all aware of that? Then they went to eradicate them, who took care of these children. And then have them adopted into pale-skinned families who were to dictate how they would carry themselves when they reached their teens and older. Real talk, people. Some bad stuff, man. And even some Negroes with Cabbage Patch babies too, y'all. Seriously. And our people were too busy attempting to save everybody. It's part of who we are. That's why whenever I meet people that do bad things, I say, what's your blood type? I'm serious, y'all. What's your blood type? Okay. Wow, what for? No, I just want to know what your blood type was. You never know. Things that happen, you know. Man, actually, I'm walking down the street and in a car accident. I'm like, yo, his blood type is military minus state of mind. But this is me just being honestly dishonest and honest at the same time, because the person's not ready. And who am I to dictate? I'm who I am. That's how I can dictate, know who's ready or not. People come over here and they're not ready. Like I'm making stuff up. Oh my goodness. Mm. Want to sit down, Papa? Let me move the remote. Come on. Come on. You want to go over there? Go on. I'm going to get juice all over the place. Come on. Mm. Oh, I got to eat pussy. Mm. Mm. That's so good. Right up. Hey, Papa. Come on. Come on. No? You just want to lay down? Your belly's full. Look at your belly. Your belly, boy. You want to lay on the book. Oh, you going to clean? Okay, brush it out. Guess the lizards probably went off for a moment. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started reading. I'm hoping more people will come, but it is what it is. I appreciate y'all being here. He deserves a amen. Let's go ahead. We're going to start reading all this. They'll come. We'll see you later. I appreciate everybody. You know, I think we had 65, I think we had 2 new subscribers. I don't know if you're here, if the notifications are working properly, because you know when you talk about certain things it riles people, and even though I make some of it full of drama, as if it's to shake the tree, and it cause people to get in their feelings and emotions, and people even to just because, but at the same time calm down and come back down to earth, and think about it. I know a lot of people don't want to think about things, but it is what it is. There's nothing I can do. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into Hidden Lands Beyond the Antarctica, the continuation of Morris's journey between interconnected planets. And y'all know what that means by that, Nos Confatum, no confusion, by Claudio Nocelli, and that's all, brother right there. All right? He did an exceptional job for those who don't know who Claudio Nocelli is. All right? Isn't it funny? We got a lot of Latino. Well, I'm going to say it like this because that's how you know it. We have a lot of brothers of Spanish influence, okay? Spanish influence, who are telling your truths, even Italian, Ashkenaz too, Dutch, Finlandian, Swede. Even I've heard it from 2 Australians who don't even like the word black, saying, yeah, your brothers are aware. When y'all going to wake up? I've even had a couple of Native Americans say, when are y'all going to wake up? That people who tell the truth, who the system absconds from, and you never really hear it unless somebody shares it with you, or you use a key word to find them. Even the Hopi who's mixed in, knows. I mean, you can't make this up, brothers. We got brothers and sisters all over. You dig what I'm saying? You may not be directly from my biological as far as when I came into this world, but you are. But you're still my brothers and sisters. You're still family. You get that? My thing is to bring up the crayon colors, to bring up so-called this, that, to broach upon it, smack it around a few times, lightly and gently, and challenge motherfuckers with their bullshit. That's all. That's all. And you to pass that message on, however you seem fit. Okay? I really want to wait a little longer because some people just got home off work, and I know they're probably this, that, fit food in the oven, the women, and then the guys, yeah, man, I'm just out there chatting. They got me a couple of squigs. I rolled my blunt. Oh no! Oh no! No! This is one of the well, not the best, but one in a class of about 20 back and knee pain medicines I know for real. And then this is one with a tarp that had a little terpene on it, indica. This Snoop OG on the paper that I wrapped. Man, it did all melted in. You can see. Hey, that's a one hit to quit. That one. My boy was like, yo. I was like, yo. And he just. I said, you're going to be like my friend was at Arcadia, bro. You're going to be running around playing, dances with wolves and the daffodils and the lilies, motherfucker. That moment, he ain't even come back out of the house at all, man. I know he was in there in front of his video game like that. One, and I'm like laid back, feet stretched up. While around I went and got up the clean, brought the pillow down, laid the blanket down, got all soft like I'm in a hammock. Yeah, back's fine. Probably how I'm laying is gonna make it about halftime work, but oh gee Willie. All right, let's go ahead and get into reading. All right, chapter 7, the petrified trees, the southern giants. I want you to really pay attention. The petrified trees, the southern giants, and the connection with fifth generation humanity. Now, y'all aware out here they have mezzanines that there's a place called the prehistoric or the fallen, which called trees that are, they look like crystals and, like, it's out here. It's really out. I've been there a couple of times, y'all. I'm telling you, this world is, I believe some of them so-called trees out there, when I really get up on them, are bones. I'm dead serious. Somebody study anatomy, all that medicine and all that. They look like giant bones to me, y'all. I wish y'all, when you come out here, we got to make the trip to Jerome's town, one of the original copper mines. Beautiful. A lot of vegetarian meals and stuff like that, and regular stuff. A lot of copper, plates, bowls, spoons. I'm talking about 99.99% pure. And then we can go and hit the petrified forest, or not the redwood, but the fallen. It's on top. You can see, it's all desert, but it was a plush, wonderful, beautiful place. I mean, astounding. You know what I'm saying? That is phenomenal. When you're walking around, they say forests, petrified trees, or whatever. And you're going to look out there and you're going to make the same assumptions that me and some other people made. We like look at that and the way they're shaped. I'm like, these look like big ass bones. Remember I was talking about some of the things that came and destroyed. I mean, took out millions of lives. Like, it's all there, all the history. Just like me walking the Grand Canyon around the sides and pointing to certain places where there's mollusks and shells, and they're going, what? And they see this big white thing. I'm like, that's a whalebone. And we're looking way down and way up, and we're like, way up here. Dude, there was a flood, whether you want to believe it or not. You dig what I'm saying? Big old whalebone sticking out. You would think it's probably a part of a tree, but it's solid white like ivory, like a tusk or something. It's whalebone. Right on the path walking. And me, I'm always looking there where everybody's looking down in the Grand Canyon at the little poopy scoops and all that, and the little roads made for walking. I'm saying, look at this. What's that? What does it look like? That look like is that a conch shell? Bingo! And they're like, way up here. I'm like, you want to crawl up there, go around the side and up to the top? No. I'm like, come on, man. Take them up, little wobbling rocks and stuff. And yeah. And I right on up. And I'm like, have a seat, take pictures now. Look around you on the ground. Shells and it's crazy. Grand Canyon, y'all. So anyway, let's get back into it. For those who came in, it's going to be the petrified trees, the southern giants, and the connection with fifth generation humanity. Why did the Anakim giants and other race of giants decide to assist the liberation of mankind and other races of giants, not just the Anakim? It is a great question that haunted my mind over and over again. Throughout my studies here in these lands with the ancestral brothers who gave me, from the beginning, a warm welcome, and in parentheses, although, as you know, it was quite traumatic as soon as we arrived over there, where I was somehow sharing with the same ancestors of our new humanity, and where I also took advantage of my closeness to, at least, be able to clear some of my concerns. Now, while it could be understood that the Anakim simply saw the opportunity to infiltrate at a propitious moment during that confrontation between the conquerors themselves, the custodian Anunnaki war, that is. It is also true that much was risked in the movement of jumping across into hell itself by beings who perhaps were not even aware of their true essence about the Anakin giants. I felt that something had to motivate them beyond what was explained superficially, and the understanding that each one could have acquired from this fact, Shiki, knew from this fact. Shiki knew how to give me the answer sometime later, after my permanent insistence to be able to contact her again. I needed to ask her several questions, and one night finally came what I longed for so much. Shiki confessed to me that the Anakin, or giants of the South, have human blood running through their veins from a remote past during the 5th generation. That is prior to the ancestors, and that in turn, that same blood some also share with another more primitive giant race, there being a direct connection with the lands of Asgard. All this was again like a bomb exploding in my mind with fresh information that could dispel great clouds of uncertainty. Each word of the Shiki became more and more interesting and began somehow to close many paths in my confused mind. Now I know what some of you are saying, why would they even let this book be printed? It was just printed. They don't care. The human physical build was very different. So was the way time was passing, as well as the environment in the known lands. A handful of Anakin giants and a few of another giant race decided in those times past to overcome the first dome to infiltrate the human lands. Now, a little out of curiosity and a little to see the possibility that they had to infiltrate some information as well as technology. They did it through what we know as south side of our lands and settled there for a long time. In many manipulated books, they can be found even today as Patagonist giants, Patagonian giants, Patagonist, I don't know what I care about, Patagonian giants. Although the dates are incorrect, as well as the image of them that would be publicly known, these beings began to feel part of these lands and to get closer to the humans that also lived there. And since then, they simply began to develop. Now, although their bodies began to get sick, this did not happen until many years after the first visit, as they were not fully aware of the toxins that could rain down from the heavens themselves. Acid rain, more than that. They came to make large fortifications in the closest part of the known Antarctic Peninsula, between what is known today as Argentina and Chile, and in addition to other lands that do not appear on current maps, and all the way to the islands that were there at that time. The giants began to explore the old continents and the hidden lands. In parentheses, it says, many of them disappeared between the floods by later resets. Listen to this. Many of them disappeared between the floods by later resets, and surprisingly discovered trees of colossal sizes. They began to understand that the human past was totally different to what they understood until then. These colossal trees were difficult to locate in human history. They did not fit directly. The first humans coming from Asgard, Lemuria, and Atlantis. Lemuria would be the land of Mu, for those who are unaware. Atlantis had to have not only used them, but planted themselves with some purpose. Now, what kind of energy or connection did they have? Were they used in some way as portals or to hide another type of technology? Who had given those seeds or knowledge to obtain these mysterious trees to the ancient humans? Many questions hovered around this issue, and the giants surely came to a conclusion. For that reason, they decided to settle there and even enlarge their population without attracting so much attention from the ruling custodians. Perhaps their answer was noted in the beginning of humanity and its connection with the celestial lands. The trees during that reset were cut down, destroyed, burned, pulverized, or petrified with custodian technology. Many of them we find today along the known continents. Many others are taken as simple hills, mountains, or even mountain ranges. Then we will understand better what happened to these giants as well as to the humanity of the 5th generation later on. There are still some memories left in the ancient books of the old continents about, for example, Medusa, That monster that turned into stone those who dared to look directly into our eyes. It was a faithful reflection of a clear message. The one who drew the veil of the dark dome would be stone for all eternity, by the custodians. Besides being metaphorical, the idea that beings could be petrified is somehow established in the known lands, but certainly always in the form of mythology, or stories far from reality. It is quite complex to understand that giant beings or titans have also been petrified throughout human generations. Perhaps many of them sought to free the source for the kingdoms to restore their peace. Let's not forget that the colonizing parasites soon invaded many of the worlds, even when the beings of each environment were developing. Therefore, it was easily accessible for them to conquer almost all of them, with exceptions of course, but sooner or later they would obtain the power they have today. Are there mountains that are ancient petrified beings? That is a question that I will not answer at this time. But I have asked Shiki, although it seems crazy to many. I did not want to stay with that intrigue. The truth is that I can confirm that giant trees, if they were cut from their bases, some were so huge that today are also considered mountains, or forgotten mountains that stand out among the plains, or even more spectacular, mountains. The bones of enormous beings could have suffered the same fate during their stay in the old continents, simply for trying to change the course of the human generations to come. And many of these colossal trees were used as a form of transfer of matter, or better said, natural portals to distant or hidden lands. It's funny how they, in that movie with all the blue folk, they have the trees to hold souls and spirits, and then they lay their bodies down of these tall ones to recoup the body and then send the soul into another vessel, or for healing. Isn't that pretty? Avatar, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to read this one as a short one. It's chapter 8. The Great Dome and the Cell Wall in the 178 Worlds. As I commented earlier, the Great Dome is the one that covers above all the known worlds, the Great Dome. Hence, I mean, known and not so known to many of us outside the first ice walls. This is key to understand how these worlds could work. I also understand that it may overwhelm you in a direct way at first, as you are not even familiar with the land surrounding your continents. It would be more difficult for you to understand how all of what you know as planets can meet in a horizontal direction, instead of vertical as drawn by the most prestigious scientists of your circle environment. It is difficult to deal with this idea, and believe me, I spent years studying how the first dome could work and what is projected on it. Directly speaking, what the heavens show every day, to be able to really interpret how one can navigate the skies, going directly horizontally to the poles, or better said, to the Antarctic polar circle, which is that only physical barrier which is that only physical barrier it has before the direct collision with this barrier dome, a priori, invisible. Now, the dome barrier functions simply as described, a division between one environment and the other, but as something known to you so far in your time as is the cell. In specific parts of its walls, there can be a direct connection that mixes or lets pass in a certain way something from environment A to environment B, or vice versa. In a basic way, we can compare the artificial ice wall as a cell wall fulfills its function to act as a barrier that in this case, pathogens have to overcome to colonize that other environment or circle environment. But it is also a dynamic structure, and then we could compare the dome with a plasma membrane. In this way, we could say that the wall of the dome serves not only as a means of natural barrier of each circle environment, but also to restore itself in case of suffering any significant modification in its climate or general environment, separating the interior environment from the exterior, with exceptions in particular places. Now, we can call these channels portals or passages that help us to overcome these barriers that seem insurmountable. and generally are made by water, except for exceptions by technology that can be done through the air. But the passages, both from the interior to the exterior and vice versa, some electric magnified field, you've seen the movies, are made by water as they provide a high percentage of success. As we were saying, the demons are in the first instance as permeable membranes. The domes, excuse me, not demons, the domes. Oh, you read. Saying the domes are in the first instance of as permeable membranes, but sometimes selective, as in the celestial lands. Although the domes are natural and are found from the information we are able to collect since the beginning of time, it is not ruled out that it was some creation prior to the beginning of the first colonizers, who were those who ventured out of their dome or membrane to explore other places. Like a baby born out of the womb, civilizations have left their domes to explore and exchange information in one way or another. Many of them still have not left by omission or ignorance. Perhaps one goes hand in hand with the other. In our lands, we humans have not left because of total manipulation of the colonizing parasites. Otherwise, I believe that today the same current civilization would be creating new ways to make way for what the extraterrestrial's destiny has in store for it. Now, to leave the dome, then we could call it as the birth of a race. In a certain moment, our generation, the beginning to interact with other neighboring beings that surround the colonizers, thought that the Great Dome would work in the same way and that it would also connect to other domes and other lives. And that going out to the outside there would be another type of birth. But none of this worked. And all this remained as a big question mark. From there is also born the great doubt about what is found inside the celestial lands, as mysterious as selective. And we'll get into the number, chapter 9 will be good, y'all. The book of Ninjma and Shike. Oh, it gets pretty heavy. Yeah, I already glossed over that before I dozed off for a minute. It's really good. So chapter 9 will be the next going on. Can I have that book, Papa? He got his legs stretched out. He don't want me to have the book. Ain't that right, Papa? Can I have the book? May I please have the book? May I have the book? So you want my hand smell like weed or something? Because you don't let that weed smell. You take off like a bat. Can I have the book, Papa? Can I have it, please? Is it all right? He gonna smack my hand in a minute. I'm gonna have to get the book, y'all. Thank you, Papa. He's not letting it go. He grabbed it on the side and he grabbed it on the top. You ain't tearing up my book, cuz. Can I have it, please? Thank you. He's still going for it. I gotta read the book, man. God dog. Okay, he didn't put the nails into it. Thank you. You want another book? I know you was chilling, man. You had your hand, arm up and everything. It was just perfect. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get it. Behold the Pale Horse by William Cooper. It's the brother that was assassinated. This is his book. Okay. Murdered, however you want to call it. It's been a minute. When last checked, it was in 1989. The petitions to indict and all that other stuff. Where he dealing with the CIA, all this other, the same stuff. Hear me. Talking about UFOs, Mr. Ecker, and all that kind of stuff. Dealing with witchcraft and occult, what is real or not. You got to remember, he's a Christian. He believes in heliocentrism because that's just the narrative. Some are. There's just no way around it. He didn't live long enough to find out otherwise. Now the conclusions are inescapable. You're talking about the petitions, and you know what I'm saying, and to indict. Oh, as far as every member of the Senate. Oh my goodness. House of Representatives. He was one, and I guarantee that was one of the things that was like, he got to go. Number one, the secret power structure may believe that by our own ignorance or by divine decree, planet Earth will self-destruct sometimes in the near future. These men sincerely believe that they are doing the right thing in their attempt to save the human race. It is terribly ironic that they have been forced to take as their partner an alien race that is itself engaged in a monumental struggle for survival. Many moral and legal compromises may have been made in this joint effort. Now, these compromises were made in error and must be corrected. Those responsible should be brought to account for their actions. Now, I can understand the fear and urgency that must have been instrumental in the decision not to tell the public. Obviously, I disagree with that decision. Throughout history, small but powerful groups of men have consistently felt that they alone were capable of deciding the fates of millions or billions. Throughout history, they have been wrong every time. This great nation owes its very existence to the principles of freedom and democracy. I believe with all my heart that the United States of America cannot and will not succeed in any effort that ignores those principles. Now, full disclosure to the public should be made, and we should proceed to save the human race altogether. Now, number two, we are being manipulated by a joint human-alien power structure that will result in a one-world government and the partial enslavement of the human race. This has been deemed necessary to solve the elemental question: who will speak for planet Earth? It has been decided that man is not mature enough in his evolutionary development to be trusted to interact properly with an alien race. And we already have enough trouble between the different human races. So what would happen if so you got to remember, he believes Ashkenazis, Jews. I mean, he's not broaching upon them. Maybe he will. We'll see. Alien extraterrestrial race was introduced. Now, would they be lynched, spit on, or shot? Would discrimination result in nasty encounters that would doom humanity as a result of the aliens' obviously superior technology? Have our leaders decided to lock us in the playpen? The only way to prevent the scenario from taking place is to cause an evolutionary leap in consciousness, a paradigm shift for the entire human race. I have no idea how it can be done, but I know that it desperately needs to be done. It needs to be done very quickly and very quietly. Number three, the government has been totally deceived, and we are being manipulated by an alien power. Excuse me. No, I'm sorry, guys. Which will result in the total enslavement or our destruction of the human race. We must use any and every means available to prevent this from happening. Number four, if none of the above are true, something else may be happening that is beyond our ability to understand at this moment. See the puzzle pieces in there, and even though I went through their paradigm shifts, to raise the get the evolutionary leap in consciousness, and I mean, there's so much to discover the truth and act upon it. And when people they find out they won't act upon it, the frequency and vibration is way off. This is just crazy. The situation in which we find ourselves is due to our own actions or inactions over the last 40 years, because it is our own fault. We are the only ones who can change future events. Bada boom, bada bing. Future events. Education seems to me to be a major part of the solution. The remaining part is the abolition of secrecy. See what it got Kennedy's ass. I find the word secret society repugnant. Okay, I'm not too good at doing his voice. And number five, there is always the possibility that I was used. That the whole alien scenario is the greatest hoax in history, designed to create an alien enemy from outer space in order to expedite the formation of a one-world government. And I have found evidence that this could be true. I have included the evidence in the appendix. I advise you to consider this scenario as being probable. Now, through ignorance or misplaced trust, we as a people have abdicated our role as the watchdog of our government. Our government was founded of the people, for the people, by the motherfucking people. And there was no mention or intent ever to abdicate our role and place our total trust in a handful of men who meet secretly to decide our fate. In fact, the structure of our government was designed to prevent that from ever happening. So the Ashkenazis set up and killed fucking Kennedy. Ergo's that part. But when they murdered our brother, Abe Lincoln, yeah, they already had set in motion. And we're talking about the goddamn Bilderbergs, the Rothschilds, the Vanderbilts, all them motherfuckers. In fact, the structure of our government was designed to prevent that from ever happening. And if we had done our jobs as citizens, we would never have reached this point. Most of us are completely ignorant as to even the most basic function of our government. Now, you want me to tell how they did it? Having the ignorant, dumbass peckerwoods running around, worried the fuck about us on our goddamn land, because all them Cabbage Patch children or the grandbabies of them now believed in the little lies that have been conscripted into. We're talking about millions and millions, while they're still getting off on the fucking boat. And they said, oh, well, this is what this fake ass government said. You want the land, you got to get it. Now, this is pretty big land, so we probably have to go into the main place and drop some turpentine, you know, C4 bombs in certain places. Yeah, this fraudulent fake ass government trying to get the true heirs off the goddamn land. Because they're being scripted, they're being told what to do. That's why you peckerwoods is where you at now, you dummies. And then run around playing us, retards. We have truly become a nation of sheep, and sheep are always eventually led to slaughter. It is time to stand up in the manner of our forefathers and walk like men. I remind you that the Jews of Europe marched obediently to the ovens. Bullshit. It was more French and Spanish goddamn gypsies than anybody. Ovens, after having been warned, believing all the while that the facts could not possibly be true. And when the outside world was told of the Holocaust occurring in Hitler's Europe, it was not believed at first. You must understand that, real or not, the purported presence of aliens have been used to neutralize certain wildly different segments of the population. Don't worry, the benevolent space brothers will save you. It can also be used to fill the need for an extraterrestrial threat to justify the formation of a new world order, or just have you look outside of yourself instead of inside yourself. The aliens are eating us. The most important information that you need to determine your future actions is that this new world order calls for the destruction of the sovereignty of nations, including the United States. Come on this land if you want, motherfucker. Bring Charles Schwab personally. The new world order cannot and will not allow our Constitution to continue to exist. The new world order will be a totalitarian socialist system. Socialist liberals, you dummies. We will be slaves shackled to a cashless system of economic control. Now, if the documentation that I viewed while I was in naval intelligence is true, then what you have just read is probably closer to the truth than anything ever written. If extraterrestrials are a hoax, then what you just read is exactly what the Illuminati wants you to believe. I can assure you beyond any shadow of a doubt that even if aliens are not real, the technology is real. Anti-gravity craft exists. It's not gravity, but things that go against natural order, and it's not anti-gravity, it's something that's ancient, exists, and human pilots fly them. No shit. I and millions of others have seen them. They are metal, they are machines, they come in different shapes and sizes, and they are obviously intelligently guided. If suddenly there was a threat, this is the end of it, if suddenly there was a threat to this world from some other species, from another planet, we'd forget all the little local differences that we have between our two countries, and we would find out once and for all that we really are all human beings on this earth. Ronald Reagan to Mikhail Gorbachev, and he was a puppet too, just like Mikhail Gorbachev. You see his ass over here after he served, shooting guns and shit, with Mr. Kalashnikov himself. You can't make this stuff up, people. Can you? So next we'll be getting into the sources, okay, for this. And then after that, after we get through the sources, I want you to know the sources for all that information. We'll go on to chapter 13, which is treason in high places. The United States, the United Nations Treaty, and the United Nations Participation Act versus the sovereignty of the United States of America. Versus the sovereignty of the United States activity. I don't know if you heard it because I'm looking down, but anyway, the next part we'll be getting into. I'm going to repeat it again because, you know, they got a little upset, I guess. Whatever. I don't care. Just like they don't. Treason, well, obviously they do. Treason in high places. The United States, the United Nations Treaty, and the United Nations Participation Act versus the sovereignty of the United States of America. At the conclusion of the Constitutional Convention in September 1787, Benjamin Franklin was asked, well, doctor, what have we got? A republic or a monarchy? He answered, a republic, if you can keep it that. And we're going to keep it a motherfucking republic. They might as well start letting go the bombs and shit now. I need this right quick. Any questions? That's to read. Shit, I got the seeds floating around. There's lime in there, so it kind of gives it a little vinegar and oil type thing, but it's still good. Oh my goodness. That is phenomenal. Who all came in? Hey, Snoop, what's up, baby? I mean, I'll holler y'all everybody out. We'll go back to where I was at. I said, if you come in, just holler. Say hi. Hey, Marcus Williamson, what's going on? Greetings, beloved. Oh, you know I got you, bro. What's going on, beloved? I got my baby girl Snoop at the mechanics. I know you're there. You're getting that whoop, 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 whoop on. Got meaty with you? I hope y'all enjoyed that read. I'm not gonna do a whole lot of talking, but you see what's going on. Yeah, I've had some people hit me up. I got a little bothered, but I told them to get unbothered because it's not going to change. It's not going to stop. And you know what? In order for them to accept you for who you are, those who know truth and history, because a lot of so-called Mongolians and stuff and whatever, right? Regardless of even having our blood in, because some of them are very ignorant. Oh, I've got some black in me. You stupid fuck. You got what's the autochthonous bloodline in you, unless it's from another place. But I says they won't research the stuff, and then when they do it, is they believe they're debunking something, and then when I look at what they're debunking, I'm like, oh, you didn't go far enough back. You went to this certain individual because he's going to be elusive to pushing this out and this, that. And you can't make it up. And then you got the ones showing these pictures of the guys that look like the Olmecs down there. Yeah, the ones that still got the damn nigga blood in them. You dummy. They ain't fully blended, maxed out with the Spanish, French, and Dutch bloodlines. The Moors, the Moriscos, whatever you want to call them, that came over here. I says, no, a lot of y'all still are brothers and sisters, but you're fucked up with that colorism. And they won't accept it like I give a damn. Mexico's one of the most racist cities, or whatever you want to call it. Why? The inclusion of the CIA, the governments, and everything that precipitates in the greed and the suffrage and the murders and everything else. When most people just want to goddamn live other than the stupidity of it all. It ain't our bloodline doing that shit. Might have indoctrinated a few children because they sick. But that's like anywhere. You better believe that shit. Why you think the Chinese are down there? Shit. And there's certain countries down there that ain't feeling that shit. If something was going on there, armies and fighting, they wouldn't even let you know here. Told you they're building that wall now. Now they want to build it. Keep you in? Nigga, please. Excuse my French. Immediate revolution. But they heads up in Mexico. Yeah, it did. Big time. It did. Big time. Well, seeing as nobody really have no comments or anything as far as what I was discussing, I appreciate you all coming. I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. I might come back here about 5 or 6. We'll see. 100 years of lynching, I was doing my best to hold off, but I'm going to have to get that in and read about 4 or 5 of them. Yeah. Now, you heard about some of the pale skins that have died now. I mean, that was no game, man. You need to know. And the people didn't shake a step because most of them just got off the boat. With that hard travel on a horse and buggy when we had railroads, all kind of things. You need to know that when they wanted to shut the railroad system down, because they didn't build all them tracks going around mountains and everything. First thing they did was a Vanderbilt's nephew or cousin or something sitting there going riding a horse saying, why don't we ride a horse with the trams? Because they couldn't keep the electricity right. They dismantled and got rid of the natural energy to which all those things ran. Then you'll ever see some of these Tartarian trains. I'm going to have to do a post with a lot of these trains that you would think look like something out of Star Wars, real trains that our ancestors used, and you would think they're steam. They were electric, fast, built like tanks. They had to get rid of any remnants of the old world. And what they do? Start pulling the damn trolleys and cars with horses until they can establish a new source of electricity. Hence, fake-ass Thomas Edison, to which electricity was already here. It's just a couple of niggas had to put it out, and the first thing they do is give it to what was that guy they gave it to for the patent? He ain't know the first thing about electricity. Y'all got to research this stuff. Why you can't? No, they look better than Mad. Yeah, they look better than Mad Max, baby. They weren't beat up. They were fine. They were beautiful specimens. But yeah, if you want to look at the time frame compared to now, actually we kind of living like Mad Max, scrabbling and everything, being handed something from a fucking a monkey on the top. What the hell? On top of what? But yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely, baby. Way we groveling, you know what I'm saying? But those trains, you're gonna love them. I'm gonna put a post up. I got some trains, man, that I had to go on my laptop to get because I couldn't find them on Google because I was looking for them. So I went into some of my stuff, the reports I did about the old world technology. They really didn't want it in that class, but I did it. It still got an A. Or you know, it was a 99.9%, you know, 100 almost. I had to go in there and get 3 of those trains and then ship them over to my Gmail and then download them onto my. So I got a bunch of trains, so we could do a whole bunch of different posts with these trains. When I was a little jit, certain places, some of those trains still ran, but they were at the last heyday in the 60s, especially the 50s. They dismantled, melted them down, destroyed them. There are some, maybe out in Nebraska or Iowa, out in the boonies, like where the swamps and the tracks still exist, the old original railroads of long ago, some of those trains are sitting right off in the gullets. You see them right down there, rusted up in there, big as hell. All right? Do y'all believe in titans and giants? Petrified monoliths? What kind of blast will leave things laying around like bones that the fake geologists had to say, oh, those are giant trees. You go out and take a look at them giant trees. You'd be like, okay, well, where's the part for the branches? And then you start looking at the ends of them, the way they shape, and you'd be like, man, that look like a big-ass femur. That look like a big-ass lower part of the leg. Look at the little one laying beside it. Nigga, that's a motherfucking leg. You find the shin? I mean, I'm just saying, when y'all get out here and you go to and you see, it's called the Petrified Forest in Arizona. It ain't a forest, motherfuckers. It's on mezzanines. And them is goddamn, I believe them to be giant titan bones of giants. I'm serious. I don't care what nobody said. I've been there and looked at the motherfuckers. No. They look like bones. Okay, and that's all I'm gonna say to that. The way they on the cliffside, broken. Like, and you see the 2 nodules and kind of chipped away, weathered, beaten up, but then you look inside it like hard as crystal. Nigga, that's a bone, nigga. There's a movie that was out that was about Ice Age, and people lived in trains. Looked like Tartarian. I'll tell you the name once I figure it out. Okay, babe, I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys. Y'all go ahead and enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to go and sit back, take a hit of the blunt. I'm about to get, you know what I'm saying, green thumb, Cypress Hill out this motherfucker. And finish off my watermelon and get ready to make something to eat for later. I don't know, I might make some Himalaya pasta or something with some pesto, some basil and what you call it. I don't know, we'll see. All right? I got a lot of stuff in that freezer, y'all. Oh, I can't wait until we start getting these books. I just want to say that I'm like a big-ass kid. Y'all don't mind me. And I'm enjoying the shit out of it. But we're gonna probably come back because I want to read 100 Years of Lynching. I want to get something very clear. And I have a book on this fictional idea that Native Americans had us as slaves. Motherfucker, you motherfuckers ain't been about like 1% of the fucking population. You couldn't enslave us if you fucking wanted to. And even right now, even with us discombobulated, we fuck every one of you up. No advocating violence. I'm gonna stating the fact based upon the truth. You wouldn't last, even with the fake Native Americans. Shit. Every time you get a fight, one of them goofy little Negroes out there stealing whatever it is, and y'all just decide to jump on them, that's some shit from old. Run into the neighborhood with that same energy. Run into the hood, the suburb, run into the city with that same ass energy. See, when I grew up at, we had a little Italian thought he can get involved between Puerto Ricans and Negroes on one side, Puerto Ricans and Negroes on another side, and a couple of Italians on our side, and we had the biggest fight was known since time immemorial in Jersey. The biggest. And he come out there with his car with that little mobster. We didn't give a fuck about no gangsters and mobster movies and all that. We knew about Frankie Lucas and all the other peoples who were just as bad, if not worse. And a lot more that never talked about in Hollywood, because the Ashkenazis don't want to keep some kind of fake white primacy, because when the Italians and Russians came here, they was looked at as niggas. Same thing with the Irish. You couldn't enslave us if they gave you all the weapons we had. Now we'd fuck y'all up. Now get on the right side and get on the winning side and just wait for your little rockabye baby, okay? But stop the fighting and shit. Real talk. When I was in Brazil, I come to learn who really created Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and then out of Capoeira, I was like, why I gotta always be a pale-skinned face to make it everything? But then the Gracies took it to the mat because they were pretty damn good. But there were brothers. I was like, I was over in the 80s, man. I remember watching this shit. You want to try? Nigga try to choke you out. They could have done it quick. Thank goodness for my wrestling. And the fact that I was a street fighting motherfucker, I ain't mind them up getting me around my neck. I'm going to come by there one way or the other. I knew how to jump around and flip around unless you have a solid lock that I'd be tapping for days. Over there, tapping don't mean nothing. So I was studying this shit when it first came out, and I kept it up. Now you got all these little 150, 60-pound motherfuckers running around. Oh, like they badass. Because y'all pushing the limit. Y'all bodies going to break down hard than a motherfucker when y'all hit y'all 50s and 60s. This garbage food, the chemicals, all the shots, the blood, going down there, what's the name, where Joe Rogan and them went to get the stem cells. Come on, man. Fuck a stem cell. Now you correct your cells, you eat right. You eat right. And if you're eating meat, make sure you balance it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, neither unite. The bullshit got to stop. They're going to have to accept one way or the other. Look, they're not paying attention to what happened with the treaties and stuff. The fact that they told it, just like Bush punk ass did, when niggas can go and get the land and nobody knew about it, so nobody went and did it, but a handful of people who didn't share it with everybody else because they sorry ass niggas. You better believe people, brothers and sisters, have been getting land here for a long time, but not the majority, because the majority still running around listening to motherfuckers like Gabari, whatever that punk, that rainbow nigga his name is, and Sonetta bitch ass. He need to go back to the Dominican Republic. Fuck all that New York attitude shit, nigga. It don't mean a goddamn thing. You know, especially to a bunch of real country motherfuckers. It don't mean a thing. Tartarian trains. I'm gonna do a post, baby, with a whole lot of pictures, boo-boo, all right? Let me get off of here and love it. Y'all check that out, man. Tartarian trains are a whole different thing, y'all. I did a post long ago. I don't know if anybody went back to it. I think it's still up. I didn't get rid of that. I got like 12 more videos to get rid of, but check it out. Go back. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate everybody coming in. It's nothing but respect and love. Somebody donated. I think I hit you up. Thank you, young blood. But probably be back around 5. Probably watching me eat some delicious shit. The benefits of being a chef. Sometimes I order some shit. I be, nigga, what y'all doing that shit? You know I need it from the store. It better not be tampered with. I don't give a fuck that I'm calling. They listening. It better come here right. You know what time it is. Anyway, it's number love. All right. Again, brothers, see y'all here shortly.